All right, there we go. Let me clear my throat. Let me clear off this camera if I can get it. There we go. I had a pillow, so it's all good. All right, just the hat. That's how I know the gloves are getting older because the Velcro's not holding as much. Even with like the battle, sometimes it just flops down. It's like, oh my god, ah! Okay. It's even doing it now. It's probably not gonna stick, but it's all good. All right, let me see. Get the live chat going. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay, there we go. And now we play the waiting game. Alright. Just gotta make sure this is all set up. Alright, cool. My puppies are just chilling out over there. They're both just sleeping. They're getting ready to go to sleep. Honestly, everybody in the house is ready to go to sleep. They were cutting a lot of wood earlier. I worked earlier, and then I lifted a lot of wood on the way home from work while already being tired. Yeah. Get hyped. Yo, my boy Ruby Drago is in here, man. What's up, dude? Get hyped, bro. It's that good, huh? I'm hoping so, because I've been avoiding the internet all day. All I know is there's been like big time hype. I don't know why, but there's been some serious hype going on. So I'm really excited to see how this episode's gonna go. It's crazy to think we're on episode what 37? Yeah, 37. Um, and we still got what, like 15? We still got 15 episodes left of the season, and there's so much they could. If they're throwing in crazy swears right now, like Wakia coming back, actually being in the show, and then something with this dude that's that's wild. The shows they're definitely playing it big time. Let me see. Turn down my volume. There we go. Well, they're definitely planning something like crazy, dude. There's gonna be some crazy things to happen for the remainder of the season, and I'm just hyped to see what TT's gonna do. All right, I'm gonna headphone in there. It fell out. What the? Oh, the case. The case is being weird. There we go. I think I got it. Maybe. There we go. Okay, just had to fix the case. All right, man. So yeah, got two people up in here, dude. Big hype. Beyblade Burst Superking episode number 37, dude. All right, let's see what's going on with this one. I know they had Wakia come in with the last episode, and there was like the virtual tournament, kind of, but that was definitely a simulation. It also got busted. So does that mean like the virtual tournament's canceled or something? I don't know, but we're gonna find out. All right, here we go. Definitely let people know if they're not here already. You know, the reaction's happening, dude. I was gonna do it earlier. I honestly was gonna do it at like 3 o'clock, right after work, because I worked like really early today, like 8:30 to 3. I was honestly exhausted. But I got out of work and helped my fam lift at least like 600 pounds of wood. And after that, after I got home after doing that, like I was throwing huge logs, like tree trunks cut up and such. After I was doing that, I got back here and I crashed, man. I was gonna do an episode reaction. I was gonna do the reaction right after I got home, but I just crashed and I woke up literally about 40 minutes ago. Yeah, like 40, 50 minutes ago. Uh, I'm like, I need some sleep, and taking a nap isn't a bad thing, man. Adult naps are important. They're very important. But yeah, dude. Without further ado, let's get into it. Let me just make sure the live chat is going. Rolando Soto, I'm hyped. Yo, same. I mean, whatever it is, people are like going nuts. So it's got me hyped big time for this episode. All right, here we go. Come on. There we go. It's a bop. And then they're showing off a Bay Champ. Which that app's so cool. I really do hope that Hasbro does an app like that. Then we got the intro for Superking, man. Hyuga Hikaru. Right, got Chuck Gunn. Lane with his crazy growing flare. I can't wait to see, like, their actual flares fully awaken, that being Hyuga and Hikaru. It's gonna be really sick to see. The Lane's crazy flare, dude. The animation for the intro now is so sick. Hyuga, Hikaru, Vault, Drum, and Lane in the back. All right, here we go. Cyclone attack battle. I think that's what I said. Aiga and Hyuga. No, Aiga and Hikaru. Then Hyuga and Rantaro. He's like, let's go, Vault. Rantaro. He's like, yeah, you're going to be battling with me. He's like, what? I thought I was supposed to battle with Vault. Do you have a problem battling with me? Jeez. And he just left. And they're both just laughing. I'm dead. Aiga and Hikaru both laughing. He goes like, it's not funny. And the stadium's got legs. He's probably dreaming. Yuga's like, what the heck's going on here? Hikaru's like, wake up. We got things that we got to do. He's looking to both sides like... He's like, a legend battle with Vault? And he's like, what are you talking about? Oh, I must have just been dreaming. Hyuga and Hikaru, that'll be a crazy combination. I think that's what Gunn just said. And then Hyuga just runs out, Vault! He's still in La La Land a little bit, but he's just hyped. Alright. Cutscene. Rantaro. Raika, Chuck, and Gunn are talking to Rantaro. They're like, Valto? Saying, yeah, he had a dream about this battle. Rantaro thought, like, he's thinking of partners. Everybody just showed up. He's like, nah. Then he's thinking of Ranjiro, Hikaru, Hyuga, or Vault. The look on his face, though. Yamarantaro! Who'd he pick? He's like, I'll pick the greatest partner ever! Or something like that. Yo, they're showing off Free! Free's launching in the woods. You look back. Oh, the deer had Bambi had a baby! Yo, the deer had a baby! I don't know why that's getting me so high, but the deer had a baby, dude. What? Okay, alright. The deer's a mama now. We're getting old, guys. The deer that followed Free has a baby now. What name? Oh, little Bambi. But Free's like, I know you're there. Cisco! I know they're doing tag battles. Does that mean Cisco's trying to team up with Free? I mean, it's not a bad call. A combination of those two. Okay, boys and girls. Wakia. Yeah, so Cisco and Free are a tag team. That's going to be a wild team, dude. Defense and stamina. All right. Any more combos? Cisco and Free, that's going to be a good combo, dude. And Wakia just hyping it up, too. That's the WBBA commissioner, man. Hikaru and Hyuga both run into the facility. Baruto! Aiga! Oh, they're trying to find their partners. They're like, oh. Drum's there. It's like, oh. Hyuga, Hikaru. And their faces all get red. You can see how they all have, like, personalities of the first three characters. It's so cool. Like, Vault? You mean you don't want to partner with me? And they both just run off. Like, oh, hey! And Drum's running after him. Why does anybody want to be Drum's partner? What the heck? There's a plane. It's flying down towards Drum. Wait! How are you gonna... Who's teaming with Drum? Are they about to put in a big surprise with this, dude? Somebody flew down to team with Drum, but they didn't show who it was. Okay. Ranjiro's launching Ragnarok. He's trying to work on his stamina and get stronger, obviously, after that battle. Does he have new gear? Well, he's got one of those, like, weighted vests on. And the same thing with the bands. He's got the bands on, too. So that way he's, like, training and getting more power and such. Who's hitting? Is it Iga? Yo, Iga just shows up and launches Achilles in. All right. Iga and Ranjiro being a combo. Dude, season 3 vibes. They're tying this together so much, dude. I'm getting, like, trips down memory lane big time. I mean, what? Free and Cisco? We got full season 2 vibes right there because we know the rivalry they had. And then Iga and Ranjiro basically being, like, best friends. Season 3 vibes with that. Dude, that's sick. Somebody's flying down to meet... Somebody's flying down to meet Drum. I'm gonna stay calm. I'm gonna stay calm. I don't know. They might be. We'll see. Just cause, you know, these teams going down big time memory lane with them. Who has big history with Drum? Dude, TT, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. I'll flip out. I'll lose my mind. Rentaro's tearing up. He's like, you want to partner with me? He's like, come on, Captain. You and Ragnarok. It makes perfect sense for you to be my partner. Classic Ranjiro, man. That's going to be a good combo, too. Balance and stamina, okay. Like, we just got another combination. Ranjiro and Iga. All right. That's going to be a good combo. Like, Iga team with Ranjiro. Carlos like, because he was definitely looking for Iga. Wait, who's walking up to the door? Oh, what? that was who it was. Okay, are you watching with subs? Nah, I'm watching it raw, and I'm just guessing. But the silhouette of somebody walking up to a door just happened. It was Vault. All right. Well, I mean, you know, they hyped it up like something crazy was gonna happen. You know, but still. But I'm still wondering who's with Drum. Like, who's with Drum? But Vault's walking in, he's talking to Rika, Chuck, and Gun, probably asking where Hikaru and Hyuga are. Who's Vault gonna team with? He's probably thinking of who he's gonna team with. Vault! It's gonna be Rantaro. Yeah, it's gotta be Rantaro. And then Hyuga's gonna get sad and be like, "Oh man, really?" Let's see here. Hi Kimbo, how's your day so far? I'm traveling right now. I'm in a hotel. Oh, nice, John. But my day's going pretty good. I mean, I worked earlier, and then I was gonna do this reaction actually around like 3 o'clock, but I had to lift like 600 pounds of wood as soon as I got out of work, and then I came home and I crashed in my bed and I took a nap because I was tired. And then I woke up probably about an hour ago, and then I was like, oh shoot. I'm like, I gotta do the reaction. But yeah, Uh, so yeah, I mean overall it's been a pretty good day. Yo, it's Louie. Somebody's flying down to meet Louie. He's like, who is it? Who's meeting with Louie? There's a plane there too. Who is it, man? Somebody's getting out of it. That Drum? It's Drum! Yo, that combo. The heavy attackers. Drum's face all red. And they're both laughing. You can tell Louis respects Drum big time. Louis and Drum times 2. Yeah. They were a good combo. They really were. Louis and Drum being a combo. That's wild. Okay. Okay, so that's who it was. So I guess they were picking. I guess what happened was Louis sent the chopper for Drum, and then he got in and then obviously went to the island. So that's what it was. Why is TT hyping up these big Y'all had me hype as heck that there was going to be a new character coming in. Like, bro, that build they're doing this too much. They're doing it too much, man. And Lane. Harry's still hissing. He's kind of eating the food. Who's he hissing at? What? That shit. What is he wearing? Wait a. What is? What is this man wearing? Shu. That looks like his. Dude, that looks like his red eye gear. Bruh. It's got the S on it. Dude, that looks sick. The new cape looks dope. What? But he can't be evil. There's no way he's evil. He's still going. You think he's doing like some like kind of incognito stuff, literally just trying to be like Lane's partner so he can learn everything about Lucifer the End? I mean, that would make full sense. Let's see, is he gonna turn evil again? I don't know. If Lane turns him evil, it'll be understandable, but I don't feel like he's evil. Like, seeing his gear, let me look at it again. He still has the tie on. He's got like the red eye type of gear on the outside. Let me see this again. Bro, what? How are... Okay, that's what they were... Yeah. Okay. Yeah, dude, what? That looks like his red eye gear big time. That looks like it big time, but he's also got the... He's got the tie on still. So it's like... That homage is still there for season 1 and season 3 too, when he was like wearing the suit and such, even with the beginning of this season. But he's got the red eye gear on the outside. Shu might be like, if anything, maybe a tweener. You know what I mean by that? Like, acting like he's evil, but like he's not, but he's still on the side of good. Because he's still trying to get after Lane. Because he saw Hyuga and Hikaru's flares. So it doesn't make any sense that they just turn him full evil right now. Unless it's Lane that does it. Like, if Lane's power influences him and causes him to turn evil, okay. But, like, it still seems like Shu's trying to get through to Lane. And it's sort of the, if I can't beat him, join him kind of approach, but also just being careful about it. So it seems like he's partnering with him, so he'll be the one that's the closest to Lucifer the End, and he's going to be learning, like, everything about it. And then when he does, that's when he's going to maybe try to save Lane. But this time, he's facing a brand new Lucifer, so, burst him the first time, but Time's gonna tell with this, man. But that's an interesting development, dude. And that gear looks sick. That gear looks freaking awesome, man. The S on it, it looks really, really cool. All right. I dig it. I dig it big time. I'll show you guys what it looks like real quick. Look at that, dude. Look at that gear. Oh my lord. That's sick. It looks even cooler than like the gear he honestly has had. Because I mean, he's looked cool in like season 3 and then obviously this season. But honestly, his red eye gear is probably some of my favorite, like look wise with him. And having this cape that looks like it, dude, that's sick. He's like, wants you to be my partner, probably. He's like, yeah. Yo. He's like, what? Shu teaming with Lane. They're like, what? The twins both showed up. Shu joined Lane. Vault. I think they're all arguing. Rantaro's looking over like... Rantaro holds them back from each other. They're like, stop it. Vault's like, we'll battle. 3, 2, 1. Go shoot. Helios and Hyperion battling again. Let's see if either one of their flares starts to kind of truly awaken. Maybe. Or it's just a small little exhibition match, you know. Rantaro's definitely saying like they're still getting stronger. Well, it's like, yeah, the power's still growing. Then it ends with them hitting each other. Okay. So that was the big thing. Okay, so yeah, it's gonna be so they're just gonna team up. Okay. Hyuga and Hikaru. I mean, that's all good, man. So let's see. It's Free and Cisco, Drum and Louie, Aiga and Ranjiro, Vault and Rantaro, Hikaru and Hyuga, Lane and Shu. That's gonna be the wild one, dude. That's gonna be the crazy one. Alright, getting cutscenes with a bunch of characters. Okay, it's Hikaru and Hyuga versus who? Are they facing Shu and Lane right away? What? Whoa, okay, you're just gonna start it out with this battle. Okay, TT, I see you. I see you, alright. And Shu with his new gear. It looks so sick, dude. And then, okay, so it's gonna be Aiga and Ranjiro versus Free and Cisco. That's gonna be a sick one, dude. Legend Super Attack League, I think it just said. Legend Super Attack League. I wonder how long they're gonna have this go. Alright. Yo, the way... Dude! The way they're having Shu's movements, even with that, dude. He's using his red eye style. Bruh, he's using his red eye style with this big time. Yo, Lucifer's straight up in the air and the twins are down. What the? And then they throw in the thing at the end, the stadium. Hyperion stopped in the... Is TT setting up for like another... If they're setting up for another stadium, I'd be like, bro, you just gave us a limit break DX set. Like... Because that stadium... It reminds me a lot of the MFB stadium. It might just be like part of it on the inside, seeing that. Anybody remember this stadium? If you're an MFB fan, it's the one that came with Rock Orso. It's one I actually never was able to get. But the Cyclone, not the Cyclone one, not the one with the Cyclone point that's spinning. That stadium is cool though. It's the one. It comes with Rock Orso, and the very center of it, when the bays get stuck in the center, they like slow down big time. But it's like free spinning. You know what I mean? Kind of like that stadium. It seems like this stadium has like that similar gimmick because the very center, like Hyperion, slowed way down. It's an attack type. Like it's not gonna just stay in one spot like that. I don't know. Maybe that's TT showing off maybe a gimmick for a future stadium. Even though we just got one like last month. I don't know. But still, I mean, it looks cool. So I can imagine it. Let's see here. You think Season 6 will be as bad as Zero G? Because we all know how terrible it was. I mean, Zero G wasn't that bad. It's just people didn't like it because of the disconnect and also like the new gimmicks and such. Like with Season 6, I think it's going to be big time hype. Because it seems like there's still, at least at this point, well, protecting characters, at least this far they have. But it'll show how things will go with like, with how this season ends, how Season 6 will play out. But I feel like they're saving a lot of craziness because they got to outdo, if they're having Season 6, they got to try to have Season 6 outdo all the previous seasons. And with how they're doing things with Lane and Shu, that story right now, come on, man, we got to see some craziness. Let me see. Is it the one where they can spin forever? No, not the Nemesis Stadium. I know what one you're thinking about. It's the stadium that came with Rock Orso. I think BBG unboxed it. But yeah, like the center of it, literally the bays don't move around as much in the center part. But yeah, it's not the Cyclone base stadium. I forgot the name of it, but it comes with Rock Orso. I know that. But definitely seems like that. I think there's going to be another new main character in Season 6, maybe. And then everybody will be like, oh, who's this new character that's going to get crazy plot armor? The craziest thing that TT could do, which would make me absolutely baffled, is if they do something they've never done in the history of Beyblade. And if there's any time to do it, it'll be now, because they've already made history. Like the yellow thing that spins. No, not that one. That's the Cyclone Stadium. It's an older stadium. It's older than those two. It came with Rock Orso. But the craziest thing they could do, I mean, with this season, we've had, this era of Beyblade, Burst. We've had 5 protagonists: Vault, Iga, Drum, and now Hikaru and Hyuga. And I mean, they made history big time already. We got 5. We've never seen 5 seasons of Beyblade, so they made history with that. We've never seen 2 protagonists in one season, so they made a history with that. We've never seen more than 2 protagonists in general in a series, so they made history with that. What other thing could they do? I don't know if they do it, but if they did this, make history one more time and make it absolutely bonkers, dude. But yeah, it would be. I'm doing an episode review, but it would be if they made a female protagonist. That would be nuts, man. That would be absolutely wild if they did a female protagonist, because that's something we haven't seen before. Like if they did that, I'd be shook. I don't know if TT would actually do it, but it would be wild. I'm watching the episode right now, and I just saw the mask. The mask that could even tie in with the snake pit if they have him wear the mask. I don't know if he's like wearing the mask or anything, or if he's gonna wear the mask. But they brought it back. That would be wild, dude. That would be really, really crazy. But that could tie into like the snake pit and such. Because bringing back that mask, bro. We have 4 protagonists because the Asahi brothers are both protagonists. Yeah, they're protagonists in one season, but they're still 2 different people. So they still count as 2 different protagonists. It's not like they're like one person, But yeah, so we still got 5. We're seeing 2 of them in the same season. Let's see, is anyone forgetting the Metal Masters Burst remakes? Oh, not at all, dude. Big hype for that, because that set, technically, you guys, that set comes out this month. You realize that, right? It's probably, TT's going to probably drop it. The next random booster, when they drop that, they're probably going to be dropping the Metal Masters remake set, man. And I'm so hyped for that. It's going to be crazy. Theodore got away scot-free. Yeah. And now they're tying in the red eye persona of Shu. And you're not going to have that man come back? You gotta be kidding me, man. Like, come on, dude. Come on. I'm hoping we see this. I'm really hoping we see these evils return. Whether it's they push it off to season 6 or they have it happen at the end of the season. Which I can imagine if they do push it off for this season, maybe season 6 being that. Like, we need that But like they've got to beat out what they've done thus far. They've already tugged on the heartstrings big time with this season. They got to do so even more with season 6 for sure, dude. But yeah, I gotta finish and see what TT's showing up. Hasbro been trolling us the whole time, and I called it. They have been trolling big time. I'll talk about that too in a bit. All right, so Longinus, Hyperion, and Helios. Oh, they're just intertwining. Okay. Rage Helios. Rage Helios 2. 3 and Exceed. That's an attacking monster. It's gonna be an awesome combo. With 3A. Yeah, in the stadium, you can probably get some crazy attacks in. Could you imagine Longinus with like Zone Dash Z? And Bay Camp! I'm really hoping that Hasbro does put out an app like that though, because it'll be so cool having like a virtual reality kind of app. Even if it's like an expansion with the Beyblade Burst app they've got now, because the app is nice. All right, how you can add all the different bladers and such with their bays. When you register a bay, you can register it and such. All the bladers on a big stage, man. And Lane. I don't know if they showed Shu on that stage. I'm just saying with this, there would be a double whammy, a really wild battle. The craziest thing will be if we see Lane and Shu versus Free and Cisco. Because we get two battles that are big time hyped. So, probably a payback battle with Free and Lane with that. But then also Shu versus Free. Come on, man. Like, I really want to see him as 1v1s, but still, I'd even be happy with that. You know what I mean? Want to see Louis versus Silas? Yeah, I mean, since it hasn't happened in like a couple seasons, and last time Louis whooped him. But, yeah, man. It would be cool to see that battle again. Like, Cisco being like, nah, you're not going to beat me the same way you did back at God Players Cup. Well, let's see here. I want to see Shu and Lane versus Louis and Drum. That would be a good one, too, for sure. Definitely that would be a good battle. So, I saw some comments about, like, why didn't, like, Theodore get arrested or put in jail or anything. And that's exactly what I've been thinking, like, the longest time. How are they going to let it where this man literally just manipulated Shu big time to the point where Spriggan was controlling him, putting all these bladers through hell in the snake pit and such, and then walks away scot-free in a limo and says these words, "You and Vault win this time." He told that to Chris, a BC Soul, and he literally drove off in a limo. So he got away basically scot-free and drove off at his own limo. And we haven't seen that man since. That was back in Season 2. Season 3, Eval is the one who created Dead Phoenix. He made it. Yes, it was Fi's idea to combine the two, but Eval, the mad scientist that he is the one that actually made the Bay. And then it's like Dead Phoenix, you say, the most powerful Bay ever, just smiling at it. You know, there's that. And then also Arthur, after Season 4, after GT, when Hell fell to victories, he just slumps over and gets upset, you know? Like, Gwen definitely turned good. Like, you could tell the characters that turned good throughout all these events, the characters who didn't. So, like, in the Snake Pit, Boa turned good. So if we see, like, a new Bahamut and Boa comes back, he'd definitely be a good character. Just the way they built it up. Like, the conversation him and Vault had, if he was still evil, they wouldn't have had that conversation. So, definitely see him being good if he comes back. They come back, you know, there's a new Bahamut and he comes back, Bo would be good. Honestly, I'd say the same thing for Fi and Hearts, because at the very end, I know I say it a lot, just quoting. You know, literally, I use quotes. You guys know how I am. Hearts is like, you know, maybe we were wrong about a few things. And then Fi says, perhaps, you know, smiles at him. And that's the last we see of those two. like in the manga fights back. Yeah, I know, but like the manga doesn't always cross over to the anime, so they're different worlds and such. Some events might tie it over, but for the sake of it, focus on just the anime. Like the manga, yeah, a lot has happened with the manga, which is awesome, and I hope they go down this route, especially with the end of this. But like Arthur didn't turn good. He definitely didn't turn good. But I mean, well, Fi and Hearts, just their demeanor after all the events, if they were to come back, they'd definitely be good. Even if they're like tweener characters, like cool, badass characters that show up just to help when they need to. Definitely step for Fi and Hearts. It would be sick. And imagine all the dream battles that could happen, And I say the same thing for Delta. Delta turned good too. He got on Drum's side finally and helped Victories beat Hell. So it'll be cool to see him come back. Same thing with Gwen. Like Gwen turned good at the end. How are you not going to have it where Gwen comes back? You've had all these characters have this much development, and you're not going to execute on it. Like these characters that turn good and are still up at that level strength-wise because barely any bladers have beaten them. You know what I mean? Like with Fi, Iga is the only blader that ever beat Fi in a battle. And you're not going to bring him back. You're either waiting on it. Same thing goes for like what? Well, Hearts. Hearts only lost to Fi, Iga, and Vault. So he's still very credible to come back, in my opinion. Only losing to 3 bladers. He's got some serious power. And also dream battles that can happen because a lot of these bladers weren't even in, like Cho-Z, or the battles just didn't happen. They kept them away from one another. But you want to see some of these battles. Like imagine like Hearts versus Free, Hearts versus Shu, Hearts versus, like all these crazy, crazy powerful bladers. And all the dream battles that can happen. Same thing with Gwen. A lot of these bladers Gwen hasn't faced. I think Drum being the only legend out of all of them that Gwen's actually faced. I don't think, Gwen didn't even face Iga. So it makes no sense. You know what I mean? And like even Arthur, same thing. Arthur didn't face off against a lot of bladers. Like he threatened Vol and Iga when they were standing up in the booth, but he never actually faced that. Well, he faced Iga, but he never faced Vol. Like all these build-ups, just storytelling-wise, it wouldn't make any sense for them not to come back. Fubuki too, that is true, because Fubuki and Suo were both in the stand during that final battle during Cho-Z, and they're like, we got to step it up. My thoughts exactly. So if those two come back, I won't even be upset either. It shows how credible they are too. Bring back these characters that they've been hyping up big time, like with all their development and growth. And bring them back for season 6. That's what they should do, honestly. Like, Daigo better return, please. I mean, it's looking likely because the next Bay is basically Death Scyther. They just haven't fully confirmed it or anything. But that hints towards us probably seeing Dinah or Daigo in the show. If we don't see him in the show and we get a new Death Scyther, that's hinting that we might see him in the future. Because, I mean, if you make a character... like the character's Bay, but don't have that character in, but they're obviously attached to that character. The shows are going to probably be coming in the future. Cough, cough, biggest example, Lord Spriggan. We got World Spriggan with this season. Yes, we didn't see Shu with GT, but still, Kyle's actual face was ugly. Oh, man, I roasted that man so much. It was bad. But, yeah, the best thing they can do is tie all of these events and seasons and such together. So all these characters come back, need this back. Daigo, Fubuki, Ken, Fi, Hyde, Arthur, and Gwen. That's a very solid list. I'd add Delta. I'd add Delta to that list. I'd honestly add Xhaka and Zack to that list. And then I think that's a really solid roster, for sure. But also there was Galaxy Zoo situation where he never came back. Unless they're saving it for this next season. I hope so, because, just literally, you're right with that. Galaxy Zeus never getting, not having an actual owner or such. Well, they made Zeus still. So I'd hope that TT would make, a new Zeus and put it in. We got to see this. With this last season, the things I'd really want to see, and the main people, well, besides Fi, Gwen, and Delta, I'd say these are all the people that I'd love to see in one season, with the new gimmick. Whatever it may be, if it's Limit Break or something like that and they decide to name it something else, so be it. But definitely all the protagonists, so that being all of them. So if they don't add a new protagonist, just focus on the ones you got, because you got enough that you could do with all of them, and they all tie together so many of these characters, you know. So Vault, Aiga, Drum, Hikaru, and Hyuga, all definitely being in it. If there's not a new protagonist, focus on all 5 of them equally as protagonists, because you could jump back and forth with all their stories, and then who they encounter, who they talk to again, even characters we haven't seen in a long time. And that's how you can bring any character they want to back in the fray, with all of these protagonists being focused on the same level if there's not a new protagonist. Do that. That way everybody's happy. So all the protagonists, all 5 of them, if there's not a new one, get the same amount of focus, and they're just the protagonists. And they focus on all of them big time, give them their own arcs, and then we get them all tying together and such, you know? Honestly, 22-minute episodes would be really, really sick. But I'd say all the protagonists. I would say the Supreme Four. Well, actually, we'll start off with this. The members of the Bay Club, old and new. So I'd say Fubuki, Suo, Dyna, Kensuke, Wakia, and who else? Toko, maybe Toko, getting a new trident. But that would be honestly really cool to see. The members of the Bay Club, because those are hands down the strongest out of the Bay Goma Academy Bay Club throughout its history. That still aren't on this like crazy level that we haven't seen in a minute, you know, them. Besides that, I'd say, well, obviously Phi, Gwyn, and Delta, because of all the development they've had with them. The members of Victories, so I mean, besides that, it'll be Amane. Yeah, somebody I think just said Amane. We need to see Amane. Yeah, Amane being back in it, and then Delta would be there too, you know what I mean? So there you go, there's Victories. After that, the members of the Big Five, which I mean, besides that, well, obviously Free, Louis, you know, being in that. And then it would be cool to see, honestly, Rue, Joshua, and Jaka all back in it. That would be cool. Like Rue and Joshua, seeing like an upgraded Regulus, an upgraded Genius, and actually, or Renwu, yeah, Rue, Renwu, same name, but a Regulus that doesn't suck butt cheeks. Like, I really like the design of Regulus, but I hated how much it self-bursted. I thought the gimmick for it was honestly really cool. Imagine if they made like a tower metal for it, so it activates that much more, and it doesn't break on the sides, so it has the weight with it, and then tower metal, and then a new Regulus. That would be honestly pretty cool. And also like Genius coming back. That would be really cool. Joshua was flat out annoying. He was just big time full of himself. He's just mainly like a big entertainer. But it would be cool to honestly see him if he did come back. After that, Spin Emperors. I mean, Jacques is already part of the Big Five, but still Spin Emperors. So Shu, obviously being back in it. And then seeing, well, Louis, obviously mentioned before, you know. But Zach being the main one. Him. After that, probably old members of like, who else turned good? Well, I mean, I mentioned Phi, Gwyn, Delta, Boa. Yeah, Boa too. Let me see. You forgot about Boa. Nah, I didn't forget about him. Yeah, Boa being one of them too. Not gonna lie, Drum was probably the worst protagonist because unlike Vault and Iga, Drum never really developed as a character. Just compared Drum and Sparking to Drum and GT, there's barely any difference. But that's the thing. Like, he had growth, but he never lost himself or changed or anything. You know, they obviously had a lot of growth, but Drum is still Drum. He just grew as a blader, like power-wise and such, but he still got the same old happy, giggly, goofy personality. I honestly relate to that big time. You know, just being me. You know, just a lot of growth and such, but always just still being that goofy, fun character and such. And that's how he got his growth big time. You know, he knows when to get serious when he needs to. Like, time to get serious. I mean, he says it as his catchphrase, you know? Like, he has fun, but he knows how to get serious in the middle of battle, and he doesn't play around. It shows. But yeah, Sparking Bahamut, that would be cool. Norman, yeah, if they bring back like members of the Snake Pit, it's what I was saying like in kind of a theory video in the past. If they bring back the absolute strongest for the good characters, bringing back the absolute strongest for the evil characters would make it that much more hype. And honestly, like evil character-wise, it would be like Ashton or Theodore. That already would be wild. Having that crazy lunatic back. Same thing with Evel. Same thing with Arthur. All the different entities of the past being evil and such still, and coming back and uniting into one group. Because they have all their members and such with that. I mean, that would open the doors to possibly what? possibly a new Eclipse. I don't know if they brought back Kerbeus, Kensuke should be the one to have it, not Kyle with his ugly. Uh, yeah, like Kensuke should definitely have the Kerbeus. So if they ever made like another Kerbeus and it was Kyle instead of Kensuke, everybody would just roast him. Like it would be bad, dude. Armin, yeah, Armin, you know. But yeah, um, Amane is Armin. So yeah, same person, two different companies. Um, but yeah, if they had all these entities joined together, bring back Norman with a new nemesis, because he'd have a full grudge against Shu. That would make perfect sense. Shu would have a big time evil. They'd all have their people that they would be targeting big time. What character would be the worst? The worst to come back? I don't know if there'd be like a real worst to bring back. I don't know. It would just be like TT can do whatever, but you know they're going to be hyping up this next season big time to bring back the absolute strongest. I don't know. You guys can name who you think would be the worst, and in the comments. But yeah, we need a new Nemesis versus Spriggan. Oh, for sure. Like bringing the full build up with that rivalry. Kyle would be worse. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Probably Kyle. Yeah. Kyle and Joshua. I don't know, like Joshua. I don't hate Joshua as much as a lot of people do. I thought he was okay. He was obviously just full of himself, but then he got humbled when Free whooped him. And he started getting humbled during the God Bladers Cup. So I'd love to see him come back, just not be as much of a overconfident character. You know what I mean? The guy with Jormungand. Oh yeah, I forgot his name. Yeah, that's true. Also, he wasn't like a crazy like having him be among these characters. I'll be honestly a big time shock. But yeah, probably Kyle. That's the one I'm thinking. We need 4D burst remakes. Well, with season honestly with Jin, that's his freaking name. Yeah. But with us getting a season 6, that basically confirms. It doesn't fully confirm it. I'm saying that, but just how the pattern is. I see us getting 4D remakes, guys. It would make full sense if they do. Because with season 6, imagine it comes out around this same time. We get a 4D remake set at the end of next year. It will make perfect sense. You want to know why it makes perfect sense? What base could they put in it? Definitely they'd be putting Big Bang Pegasus or Cosmic Pegasus in it. Ultimate Reboot Dash. That's very easy that they could do. El Drago Destroy. They make a remake for it. Generate. Very easy. They could do that. Who else would they put in? Probably Phantom Orion. Very easily. Put bearing on it. Diablo Nemesis. I saw Star After put it in there. Diablo Nemesis. They can honestly do it very easily. How? Trick Dash. Put that as it. Or not extend plus dash. That's overkill. That's too much. I'd say Trick Dash personally because Nemesis's gimmick was that it switched up a lot in the middle of battle. Either Trans Dash or Trick Dash, I think would be perfect for it because the Trans switching up the two different modes, but definitely just Trick having more balance. Because like the stamina version of Trans is okay. But I think Trick definitely has more balance with it. But the main thing with Nemesis is it could switch between attack, defense, and stamina at will. So it'll be honestly really cool to just see that. And what switches between those at will? Trick. So if they put out Trick Dash with that, I won't even be upset because it will be very, very hard to predict it. We have Trans Dash and Tack Long in this. Yeah. So it would make full sense if they put in like Trick Dash. That'll be cool. That'll honestly be really, really cool. We need the guy with the parrot. Kuza. It would be cool to see Kuza again, honestly. Like a new Kronos. That would be pretty cool. Fang Leon. Yeah, that would be another remake, honestly, I'd say, for that set. If they make a remake set, they're only picking 5 bays. It shows with this set right now. The first one they had what? Earth Eagle, Flame Sagittario, Storm Pegasus, Lightning El Drago, Rock Leon. Those are the 5 they had. And then with the Metal Master set, they had Galaxy Pegasus. They're having Galaxy Pegasus, Meteor El Drago, Ray Striker, Ray Unicorno, Gravity Perseus, Hell Kerbex. Those are the 5 they picked. Honestly, I really hope that TT puts in like some remakes that we're not seeing with these sets. Because like how they did with like Wolborg. We got Wolborg. But like, just make some other remakes. Like, if they put in Flame Libra as one of the bays for the random booster, that would be cool. That would be sick. Honestly, it's another remake. Or like Bull. You guys said Bull. Yeah, like Dark Bull, Dark Wolf remakes for them. Take up one of those spots instead of like just the same old like same parts we see like a bajillion of. We really want to see parts we haven't seen a ton of, or something like that. Um, but yeah, with this last set, they picked 5 bays. Well, with the 4D set, they picked 5 bays. So hands down, it would be Big Bang Pegasus and El Drago Destroy in that set. They do it. Honestly, I see Diablo Nemesis being in that set as well, like a remake for it. Besides that, I'm thinking Phantom Orion and Fang Leon. They're the 4 season legendary bladers, the original ones. I know people would be like, what about Flash Sagittario? They should put in Flash Sagittario. It would be cool if they made a Flash Sagittario. Hopefully they'd make like the teeth balanced on it, because we know how strong attack Flash is. I'm looking at you, MFB. Yeah, it was a really strong combo. The ultimate combo, like the ultimate bay for my skits was Flash Bull, like with all that attack. But yeah, man, and also Flash Unicorn will be awesome. Maybe they could put a Burn Phoenix and slip in Herogium, the last Sparking random booster. Yeah, I don't think they need like another Burn Phoenix, because we did get the blue Burn Phoenix remake. So yeah. What about Aquario? That would be another cool one. That would honestly be another one that would be pretty easy to do. Trans Dash. What about Quan? Quan was a cool character. I really liked him because like he was a skateboarder, and it was cool seeing a skateboarding blader. But yeah, new Quetzalcoatl or Quetzalcoatl, either or. It would be kind of cool to see. Big Bang, Destructor, Fang, Phantom, and Diablo, and Slide in Flash. I don't know if they'd slide in Flash, but definitely I see that being a solid set, what you said, But I wouldn't mind if they put like some other bays, like other remakes and random boosters. Like, it's the perfect chance to do so. It makes it where people will want it that much more. I don't like the filler in Sparking. What's the point of it other than making the season hit the 52 episode mark? I know there's like a decent amount of like, it might feel like filler, but the main thing for it is that we're seeing all these interactions, and plus it sets up big time for like the next season. So imagine they bring back a lot of these characters, which it seems like they're definitely going to. I hope they don't do like the 0G time skip big time thing, but they actually bring back a lot of these characters, and it happened somewhat recently to what's going on right now. And it's just about like, getting those interactions, taking us down memory lane with it. We've seen it big time. Look at all the places we've gone thus far. The only place we haven't gone throughout Burst history that have had big time significance, I'd say, would be Dead Grand and the Hell Tower. And we haven't seen those two with this season. If we see them during the season, it'll be wild. But besides that, we've gone to like all the major points we've seen throughout Burst. So yeah, and also the Snake Pit, same thing. It'll be cool if they're saving those three, like. We see Hell Tower, we see Dead Grand, and we see the Snake Pit. If we see them all during like season 6, that would be sick. It would be like kind of a continuation of this story, but like not, I've seen a new season. That would be cool. Basalt plus Nemesis equals Destruction. Oh yeah, Herogium and Nemesis. Dude, if they made a Basalt Herogium or Twisted Tempo remake, that'd be wild, man. They put Yielding on it. It would definitely have Yielding, because that's the one they're going to for WD. But that would be wild to see, honestly, if they did a Basalt Herogium remake. Let's see. If they're not going to bring back Delta, then why do they bother making a Sparking version of Diabolos? It's like I mentioned before. Sometimes they make bays and then the character comes back in the future, like how we had, a character has in the future. Like how we had, what was it? Guardian Kirbyus? Yeah, Guardian Kirbyus. Nobody owned it. But then we got Hazard Kirbyus. Granted, people didn't like Kyle with the ugly, but there was still a character that had it. Hopefully we see Kirbyus again. And Kensuke has it, But something like that. Just to have it where, like, we haven't forgotten about them. We know. But they're just not coming in. Yet, at least. So hopefully it's the same thing they did with, like, Galaxy Zeus, and they just think that we forgot, and then they bring Zack back in the next season. That would be amazing. It would show that the biggest way, if they do have a new Zeus, if they do that, hands down. But especially the biggest case being Lord Spriggan, because obviously we didn't see Shu and GT, but we got Lord Spriggan, and now we've got World Spriggan in the show, And they're doing that with Diabolos, Death and Abyss Diabolos. They showed up in the manga, but we haven't seen Delta with those bays in the show for Superking. And let's see here. Delta's popular in Japan, I heard. I would not be surprised. He's honestly a really, really awesome character, and I want to see him come back for sure. He's up there for me, like, favorite character-wise. Like, Phi, Gwen, Delta, all up there. They're all, like, if I had to name my favorite characters besides, like, a protagonist, and obviously, like, Free and Louis being beasts, I'd say, like, obviously beside the protagonists, uh, in no particular order, but I mean Free, Louis, Shu, Phi, Gwen, Delta, uh, they're all up there for me for sure. Um, I know people don't like Arthur, but I personally liked Apocalypse's design and such, and how hype and how just in the zone he got, how intense it got when he had that special move go, the Omega Blast. It was honestly really sick. But yeah, Fang Leon with Wave. Yeah, easily they could do Fang Leon with Wave with that set. Make perfect sense. W squared D is a lot like Wave, and if that's why they made Wave, that would be awesome. But yeah, but for sure, some of these characters I feel like they're still holding off on some characters for the next season because now that we got another season, more they can add big time. But Hazard Kirbyus was in a random booster, so it worked. Yeah, they did have the combo for it in a random booster, but I mean, still, they just didn't have like, well, yeah, Hazard Kirbyus wasn't a booster. I thought you were talking about Guardian for a second. My bad. Um, oh, random layer. Yeah, why did I say it was in a random booster? It was in a random layer collection. There's been so many releases, man. It's been wild. Wakia's Bay is gonna be on a. Let's see. Gonna be on starter, please. Oh, a starter, maybe. I wouldn't mind if we honestly got a new wyvern. That way, the WBA commissioner can join in with things, like how Rio did, like Jenga's dad. Rio joined in with some battles. It wasn't a crazy amount, but he joined in with some with the first. Well, the first season obviously big time before he became WBBA, chairman. And then we saw him a little bit during like season 2 battle with Phoenix, when Gen Yao-Si needed a replacement member, But yeah, it would honestly be cool to see Wakia have a wyvern and then step in when things get really, really crazy. What would make it get that crazy to where he'd have a new wyvern? If somebody comes up and tries to take down the WBBA again, it would force his hand. Naru and Toko need a bay. Well, Toko does have Trident, so all I have to do is just make it where it gets evolved. And yeah, Naru getting a bay would be epic. Delta is pretty much just an emo version of Shu. I mean, not so much. They compare them too much. Like, Delta's Delta and Shu's Shu. Like, they're really similar and just, like, obviously both having bounce type bays. But it would be, you can't tell me you don't want to see a battle between those two. Like, the dream battles, dude. Think about it. Phi coming back in, all the dream battles that Phi hasn't had with a lot of characters. Same thing with Gwen. Same thing with Delta. Honestly, same thing with Arthur if they bring him back as an evil character. Same thing with Norman if they bring him back as an evil character. A lot of characters at this point, like all the dream battles don't happen. You bring in these characters with the next season, all of them can happen big time because they did so and had the dream situation and such are like just seeing all these characters interact with one another, but there's still so many characters they can add to this and then develop on this that much more. So they all have this connection and such these characters do now. Adding more characters in the future to that. Oh man, I just really want to see it. I really want to see, the biggest thing I want to see is like how all the bladers were around the table in the manga. It's a manga thing, but I want to see it become an anime thing because you can't tell me it wouldn't be epic seeing all of these characters sitting around this table, including Phi, Gwen, Delta, Zack, Jaka, Wakia, and Dinah, with all these bladers, just sitting around the table and all this craziness going on, man. Like, I really want to see that. Like, big time Metal Fury vibes with that. I want to see that for sure. Let's see here. I kind of want Kuza back, to be honest. Yeah, new Kronos would be sick. Don't back Bullet's the worst driver. It's a stick driver. I mean, a Bullet Metal would be, personally, I think, cool. Like, Bullet Dash or Bullet Metal. Mainly Bullet Metal because the bullet on it would actually have more weight. So that way it hits the bay and then could have more of a chance of bursting it possibly, and it would be really useful, honestly, and limited. If you can get that gimmick off, that would switch things up big time. Would you want to see Cleo return in season 6? I mean, it'd be kind of cool to see him. I mean, if we had Kuza, I could definitely see Cleo coming in because like just their connection and such. But Besides that, it would be like kind of bleak. I think, sadly, like Kuza and Cleo would be on the list of like don't know if we'd see again characters, but yeah. Legendary Bladers, please report to table 3B. Like for real, put them all around the table like they did in the manga. That would be sick to see, dude. But yeah, if you guys got any more questions, feel free to ask. I'll stick around for a couple more minutes. But I'm still hyped for how this season's gonna go. They're definitely dropping in some surprise things. I mean, Shu coming in with his red eye gear, I was not expecting that one bit, dude. Coming in with his like a new attire that's a lot like his red eye gear, and joining Lane, but also definitely doesn't seem like he's fully evil. He's just going incognito, you know. But yeah, let's see here. It's kind of like what's the best example? How Boa was pulling with Red Eye Shu, so like he battled with them at some points, but like observed him the whole time. Seems like Shu's doing that with Lane now. You know what I mean? Just keeping a close eye on him, or something like that. I think Shu is gonna try to help Lane, like come over to the good side. Oh yeah, for sure. And one way of doing that is like battling with him. That way he can get his like resonance and such or his flare up, and Shu can really develop a flare and get to that level. Probably to match Lane's, so you can see just how far Lucifer the End is power wise. That's probably what Shu's gonna try to do. Um, then maybe Lane figures it out and he's like, nah, you thought that you could, because limit break system, Lucifer the End, you know. World's freaking strong, don't get me wrong, but just Lucifer the End. Um, Even if they don't evolve their Beyblades, it'll be nice to see some of these characters return. Oh yeah, for sure. Just have some battles with their bays. You know, even just yeah, some of these battles like, oh man, your bay's gotten so strong or such. It would be really cool to see that. Or some of them return that way and then they develop their bays and have them evolve to that level too. That would be pretty cool. Shu was like, all right, I'm gonna drop the drip on 10. I can't flex. But yeah, dude, I'm big time hyped for how this is gonna go. Honestly, like this is an interesting twist. Shu joining forces with Lane, but we'll see how it goes. It definitely just feels like he's playing incognito mode right now, just keeping an eye on Lane, trying to get stronger and such, and then have his power grow and match Lane's and then try to save him and help him because he was able to do it once, but then Lane's like, you're not doing it again. About Drum, if the protagonist of a story doesn't have any growth, then might be a forgettable character. Just not many people will care for, just my opinion. But yeah, I mean, with Drum, he had big time growth. I mean, he had his base shattered. He had all these battles and such with these characters like Fumia and Loaded and Delta and Gwen and Arthur, and he had big time growth and development. That's the thing. Just because his personality hasn't switched up that much since the beginning doesn't mean that there wasn't growth. What would be like not growth would be like, oh, hey, I've been introduced this character with a ton of power and they just have it and like they're on this level for the longest time and absolutely nothing happens. Like that's no development. Like no change in their character, no sign of growth or anything, and they're just there. You know what I mean? Honestly, like kind of how they did with just honestly Rago. You know, because they just had him come in with Nemesis, like, oh, the strongest bay ever, and I'm just going to destroy all of you. But there wasn't any growth or anything. It's just like, oh, he got a little more evil. You know, just like a little, you know. But that's about it. That's like my example of it, anyways. But yeah, as long as the character comes in, you can see that big time growth and development with them, even if their personality doesn't change that much. Sometimes with a character, they'll switch their personality big time and become like from an evil character to a good character, or maybe a good character to an evil character or something. You know, which scene and then maybe back to a good character or something like that. The Drum being an interesting case where it's just like he's gotten stronger and we've seen all that development with him, but he's still the same old Drum. He's that comedic humor, man. That's what one thing people love about Drum. But yeah, let's see. Drum's growth was seen through others because that's what he wanted was friendship. Yeah, he focused on friendship a lot, not just like being the strongest or anything. You know, like the Burst anime. I feel like the main story of each new season is getting more repetitive and boring. Not so much. I mean, we're taking us down memory lane because we're 5 seasons in. So, you know. And the craziest thing, like I said, the plot twist of having all these evils return, I feel like that's the thing they really need for season 6 because they got to get further along with the development. Let's see. Yo, Kim, did you hear Judgment Joker is coming to Pro Series with Ultimate Reboot as a draw? What? Hasbro was trolling, and it's funny because some of the bays are actually pretty strong and they outspin some TT bays. But now they're putting out the Pro Series, and I'm hyped for it personally. Are they switching up some of the parts? Yeah, but I'm not even upset. Not even upset, honestly, because like we're getting these bays. Are they gonna be a little more expensive? Yeah, but we can get these bays on our shelves, you guys. Like TT level quality bays that hit like trucks and are awesome. Bruh. Freaking epic. Big props to Hasbro. I'm really excited, honestly, for Surge. I'm more excited for Surge than I've been. I mean, I've been excited for each series, because obviously I'm like, okay, these gimmicks are gonna be fun. They're really cool. Even the stadium gimmicks, I think, are honestly really cool. Like how they have the Hypersphere stadiums, they switch up things big time. The Rail Rush stadiums, like with the slingshot, they switch up things big time. Just the base not being the absolute strong or having the strongest slopes or anything brought it down a little bit. But the stadiums are still sick. I've loved that for sure. But now bringing back that crazy quality, man. Like how they were doing with the first 2 seasons, bringing it back and actually adding the metal, man. I'm hyped. I'm really hyped about that, dude. So we get to see like the stadium gimmicks that Hasbro's had, but also these bays that are on this pro level battling and these. That's sick. Imagine Hasbro Tall Metal Destroy. That'll be wild, dude. That'd be crazy. Can you imagine just like Hasbro doing the metal drivers, like a metal destroy. That'd actually be pretty wild. I think. Doesn't it? I think I remember like there's obviously like a Pro Series set coming out. It's a lot like the TT Basic Stadium, but it comes with Valtryek, like Cho-Z Valtryek and Cho-Z Achilles. Doesn't the Valtryek in that have like Destroy Dash or something? Like, that's wild. There's a Metal Revolve. That's going to be nice. Big time defense. The Snake Pit is going to bring in a character that's almost like Rago from MFB. That's what I really hope to see. I hope Ashton Theodore, like all of them, are the ones that bring in this character. Maybe it not even being Lane at this point. I thought it was honestly going to be Lane the way they're setting it up. But now, maybe not. It's sort of hinting towards maybe Lane will be good at the end of this, which would be cool. It'll be interesting because having Lucifer, like a Lucifer that's actually a good bay. What bay could they make that's got a crazier name than Lucifer? Imagine it's just like Norman, that they make the ultimate evil. It's just Nemesis again. I'd lose it. But I don't think so. But yeah. Lane versus that evil character. Yeah, whoever it is, just obliterating everyone. Doesn't matter who it is. Like Lane, Phi, Gwen, Delta, Vault, Iga, Drum, Hikaru, Hyuga, Shu, Free, Louis. Yeah, they had a chance to bring Delta, but they decided to partner Drum with Louis. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, if they have this development where all 5 of the protagonists are focused on the same level, we can see those old characters return. It definitely seems like there's no way they could have forgotten. That would be just bad storytelling. To leave out, honestly, the big ones, Phi, Gwen, Delta, leaving any of those 3 out, bad storytelling. Honestly, I'd say even with Arthur, kinda, just because he didn't turn good. Even though he was a really cool design character and definitely has an ominous presence whenever you see him. Yeah, mainly them. Also Boa. Because we got Blind, but we didn't get Boa. Like, come on. Seeing Boa again, too. Besides that, yeah, Jacques and Zach, honestly. But besides that, they can bring back whoever. Even, like, just the cliffhangers they had with, like, Phi and Hearts, Kabuki and Suo. They don't have, like, them developed more because they left those cliffhangers. That would kind of be a waste of just plot and such, like storytelling-wise. I would have partnered Delta and Drum and Louis with Dinah. Yeah, that would have been a sick combo. I think Lane will just stick to being the ultimate evil for this season. Oh yeah, for this season for sure. But afterwards, the main thing is like, how is it gonna end? Is he gonna become good or what? What if Lane like becomes a good and dies at the end of the season? That would be wild, dude. I don't know if they'd go like that far with it. Like I understand where you're coming from because of his resonance, like she was saying, his resonance or like his flare can consume him and then burn him out. So I get that. But I don't think they go that far with it. I don't think they would go like that absolutely crazy with it. Maybe it's like he needs more energy and he's just completely burned out of battling. And then he becomes good, but he can't battle because all of his flare and such just burned him out completely. And Hikaru and Hyuga stopped him. But that would be a setup even for Lane coming back in the next season, maybe like as a good character, because we see Shu come in, and then imagine he has Lane with him, and then we get a new Lucifer that way. That would be honestly really sick. But yeah, Lane will most likely turn good how Red Eye or Gwen and Fi turn good. Yeah, odds are he's gonna turn good, which will be cool, like seeing like a Lucifer. Well, I mean, granted, Diabolos was evil, and there's like the Devil's Bay, but now he's good. So if Lucifer turns good, it wouldn't be too surprising, because we've seen this like this pattern with things. Oh yes, Zach, my boy, I see you. He could become like Louis. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, you mean like the context of like just still being a really powerful, strong character, but just like, you know. Let's see. Arthur was the legit evil character. Oh yeah, people still hate Arthur. Honestly, in Japan, he's on. I think last I saw, he was the lowest on the favorite characters rank, which was wild. But yeah, I don't like Lane as an antagonist because he pretty much is evil for the sake of being evil. He really lacks motivation, which really makes him a bland character. I mean, kinda. The main thing for him is just getting his flair and being the strongest, and then just wrecking anybody in front of him. But that being his motive, just being the strongest, and his flair growing to the ultimate level. We even saw it where he felt empty after, like, the last battles, after the battle with Shu. He's like, oh. He's like, what? Basically in his head, what do I do now? Because I've defeated Shu. Literally, there's not really anything left on my goals. Now his flair's starting to consume him, and then breaking Bays. Now he's going to be like, I'm fully the strongest. I've had enough of all of you, blah, blah, blah. Trying to destroy everybody's Bays at this point, But yeah, I mean, it's understandable where you're coming from with it. But it also shows his development because, like, he's going to probably learn from this, from his flair and such, and then become a good character. And Shu is going to probably train him more. So that'll be honestly cool. But yeah, maybe he'll just do full-out training with Shu. Who knows? I mean, they had a chance to bring Dinah and Delta, but they missed it. They had a chance to bring old characters when they were partnering, but they missed that chance. They could have brought Kit and Kuza. This is what I'm saying, though. We have a season 6 with a whole new season, you guys. That's 52 episodes that they could do whatever, especially if they go back to, I don't know if they're going to, if they're going to stick with the 11-minute episodes, but if TT's like, screw it, or I forgot the name of the company, you guys know the name of the television company, like TV Tokyo or such. They decide to go to 22 minutes again, like how the episodes used to be. That's a lot of space for a lot of story that you could tell. So, yeah. Who would win in the fight? Kimbo or Shu? I don't know, man. Like in Beyblade battle, would be intense. I don't know. It'll be wild, man. Especially like, I mean, Leonis is awesome. Hydra's awesome. Koshidra's just a monster. But yeah. Let's see. Kit with free Kuza inside. Yeah. I mean, like Kit. Yeah. Kit with free Kuza with Silas. Yeah, I mean, it would make sense. I get that, but like I said, there's a whole nother season. They can add in, like, it's a whole nother season, so they can do whatever they want to plot-wise with this next season. Look how far they've gone with this season and taking us down memory lane. Imagine they kick it into overdrive and we get the missing parts. Let's see here. Imagine if the season finale is like an Empire Strikes Back moment and Lane wins the season finale. That would be wild. If he wins it, but also, he gets changed and becomes a good character. Who knows? But if he wins it, that would be wild because it would be like a full-out, like, evil. If he stays evil, a full evil winning it. And then that would switch up the whole plot. So it's redemption. All these bladers trying to get back and take that top spot, including the protagonist and such. And then maybe it gets the attention of a big antagonist, that being Ashton Theodore or such, That would be a crazy development, honestly, if Lane did end up winning this entire season, because he won the Legend Festival. So if they have where he wins this season even, okay, that'll be even crazier than what they did having Louis win against Vault, because that went out of standard storytelling. Usually it's like the protagonist winning it, but then Louis won it. So, yeah. Let's see here. The main problem with Lane is we hardly know anything about him. They tried to give him motivation with flair, but doesn't work because we don't even know how he got it. Exactly. That's why it's a crazy thing, because there's still so much what happened. That's honestly happened with a lot of characters. If you think back at it, we know what happened with Shu. We know how Louis got his strong power and such. They explain the story, the backstory with Louis in season 1. With Shu, the same thing, the whole Snake Pit arc. But think about it, like with Phi, we did get that development with him and Hearts when they were younger. But the story is that like he made Phoenix from a meteorite, or Phoenix got made from a meteorite. You know. So I guess there's kind of story with that with Phi. But honestly, like Gwen being a genius blader. There was development with that, like Gwen being literally a genius blader on this level and getting this strong, this exponentially fast because he's a genius, like crazy level genius that we hadn't seen before this point. But 2 characters especially, how do they get their power? The biggest questions, honestly, think about it. Arthur. Like this group hell. How did Arthur get his dark turbo? This group hell. Like, was there somebody above Arthur being the puppet master behind him? Like how it was with, remember, Dr. Ziggurat in season 2 of Metal Fight Beyblade? And then turned out being Pluto that was pulling the strings behind him with Starbreaker? Was there somebody doing that with Arthur? Because we don't know how he got Dark Turbo. How he got that kind of power and such. And then he was able to teach it to Blind. But especially Lane with this. Lane just coming in of all places. I've mentioned it before. Of all places, Lane showed up in New York. Shu being in the crowd. He beat Free. So much history with New York. That could develop into some Snake Pit stuff because of just the history and storytelling. So just the best way you can go about it. But all the questions with him, we got to know the answers literally with Lane and honestly with Arthur. And there's so much mystery with them. The wildest thing would be if like these entities are the ones behind them getting that power. And they were pulling like the strings and such. And we get that development. Kind of like full out evil reunion, like the, you know how the Nemesis Crisis happened, where we got Doji coming back. That'll be wild. Big Bad Evil Bay should be called Pluto. That would be kind of cool if they did that. That would honestly even pay homage. That would be pretty cool. If they had a bay called Pluto. Or if we get like bays based off of the solar system in the next season also. We need Geist Fafnir Pro Series. We need a lot of things Pro Series, honestly. It'd be really cool to see. But yeah, dude. For sure, I just want to see this full-out development and these evils coming back. Because honestly, they're all good evils. They made you want to hate them and such. Except Delta was always cool, and now he's a good guy. Also, same thing with Phi, and he's also a good guy. Gwen honestly seemed like a really cool character. And I'll being good as well. But these evils, these big-time evils that they want us to absolutely hate, these people that we see anytime, they want to hate them. That's honestly how I felt about Norman, because I'm like, he just never had a good personality. He was a jerk. He honestly beat Boa, too. Remember, like, they faced off in the God Bladers Cup? He beat Boa. Let's see here. I like your idea of stitching together all the plot holes, but it isn't really confirmed, so it still doesn't work. It's not confirmed or anything. I'm just like, it would be a cool idea to see. Because how can you got to think about it. They got to try and beat out everything they've done thus far. That includes everything they're doing for this season. How can you do that? How can you beat out all those stories? Because season 1, nostalgia-wise and such, the story was honestly solid. Same thing for season 2. Season 3, the story was really awesome, even though people didn't enjoy like all the new characters coming in, not seeing as many characters and such, and feeling like plot armor, you know. But still, the story was awesome for it. Season 4, same thing. Even though we didn't get like you know, like Free or Louis with that season, you know, we got Fumi and Loden. Still, it's called Creative Brainstorm. Yeah, for sure. Like brainstorming and just theories and such, because it's fun, man. And imagine they actually go about these things, because it would be sick. This is the end we deserve, especially how they develop. They got to beat out all these stories, you know, seasons 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5 with Superking. And how are you going to beat out Superking? Because honestly, it's been like pretty solid. People might not think so, but it's been really solid, even showing off all these characters and such. It's been really good. I'm sad for Boa because he doesn't have a name in the Snake Pit. Yeah, he never had a name in the Snake Pit, really. He was just Boa, you know, and never had a mask on or anything. But still, I mean, he got enough power to get Bahamut, so that was cool. I hope they add characters as the tag team tournament goes on. Same. That would be sick. We got to see some more surprise characters, because we still got a few months of releases. You know, Death Scyther coming in. Whether we're going to see Dinah in the show or not, up in the air, but at least we're getting Death Scyther. And that'll at least show, if we don't get him in the show, it'll show TT hasn't forgotten and they're thinking about season 6, and they're hinting at stuff with season 6 with this already, which is cool. Hopefully, we do see Dinah, you know. But still, a new Death Scyther is slayed on. Come on, man. Every time I think we're on the last season, there's another one. Honestly, same. I really felt like this was going to be the build-up to the last season, but I guess Burst just being so popular and still going absolutely bonkers in Japan and around the world, we made it where there's another season. It's like Zenki says, like, honestly, money talks. When companies see that they're making a big-time income and such, they stick with something. It's just how it is. You even see it with, like, big-time series besides, like, just say, Pokemon being, like, the biggest one, obviously. But yeah, they could honestly bring Wakia and Dinah as the tournament goes on. Oh, for sure. If they don't bring them in, at least with this season, like even next season, man, you know, like bring them in as actual characters. But I won't be surprised. I mean, we're getting Death Scyther. I won't be surprised if we get a Wyvern. I'm still surprised we haven't gotten like a Superking customized set with the 4 bays, because usually they introduce 2 characters even with that. Let's see here. I personally don't like how they keep introducing new protagonists each season. We know very little about them, so it's very risky of them to introduce a new one for season 6. I mean, I get that. It's understandable because there are a lot of protagonists. I'd say 2 things. Literally, if they introduce a new protagonist, make it a female protagonist because that would make history and that'll be really, really wild and freaking awesome. But if not, just stick with the 5 protagonists that there are now and focus on all of them equally. You know, as like the full out protagonist, and then have arcs with all of them, then they come together, etc., etc. You know what I mean? Like that. That's how personally I'd do it for like this last season. I don't think we need any more protagonists, but time's gonna tell, man. Because usually, if there's a new protagonist, it's just the development of, oh, hey, you know, they get stronger, Bay gets broken, get a new Bay, etc. I guess we have seen that pattern a bit for last 3 seasons. So, yeah, maybe Aiga's sister can get a Bay. That'll be pretty wild. That'll honestly be really cool if, like, you know, Nika got a Bay, if Aiga's sister got a Bay. That would be pretty cool. But you know, time's gonna tell. Because I mean, at this point, they'd be older, you know. But yeah, you know, I mean, that's just how I'd do it. I don't know if I'd put in any more protagonists unless there's like a female protagonist. Otherwise, just focus on the 5 you got now because there's 5 protagonists. You got more than enough story you can work with that. Season 6 should be a time skip, in my opinion. I think it should be a time skip, but focus on all of the protagonists and such. And it shouldn't be like that crazy of a time skip. Not like a 0G level time skip for sure, because that'll just be a waste of a lot of characters that I could have brought in, and that would be really, really sad. If you could pick which Blader gets a training arc, who would it be? Like fully like training to get stronger? Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, there's a lot of characters that we know if we saw them come back, it would be absolutely wild. But one to get an absolute training arc to get back on this level, and these are the most Jaka or Zach. Honestly, those 2, because they're 2 of the ones that'll be in the fray of like, you know, on the fence of coming back in. Like I'd say Jaka or Zach or Dinah or Wakia. You know, well, Wakia is the manager of the WBBA, but yeah, like Dinah, you know, it'll make full sense how he got this strong to get this new Death Scyther. So yeah, you know, I think we still got many seasons left to Burst. It's literally making them cash. I don't see why they would end. It's popular on Netflix and around the world. Yeah, very true. I mean, I guess it's just like also MFB and like the Plastic Gen did fall off after the first few seasons. I mean, Plastic Gen only had 3 seasons, MFB had 4 seasons, so you would think like 5 seasons with this pattern, that would be it for Burst. But nah, man, it's just that popular. We need Odin, new Bay 2, maybe. I mean, there is Knockout Odin, so that is true, maybe. And what about Kensuke, new Kirbyus? Oh yeah, that would be really cool to see for sure. Season 1 characters were 10 or 11, now they're 15, 16, or 17, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, then imagine them they're up to like 19, 20, like young adults, but still like just really powerful. You know, and imagine they're all like at this level, like age-wise, and then bringing some of the older characters, so they all grow up a bit. They're all knowledgeable. They've all grown as people and such, and learned from everything they've seen in the past. They all come together. They all have their ultimate level Bay with this season, and then this crazy build-up with all these evils and such, having their ultimate base too. So, yeah. Plastic Gen, the Metal Fight series, not as popular as Burst. They were both popular, but neither of them made it to 5 seasons. with the plastic gen, we got 3 seasons. With MFB, we got 4 seasons. And granted, the first 3 seasons were with the actual big time metal fight, and then they focused on Zero G Shogun Steel being, the redemption, like 7 years after the crisis, the rebuilding, growth, about the future. And then I'm sad that we didn't get a season 2 of Zero G, because honestly, I would have loved to see the designs they would have had for Zero G bays going across the world. But also, it just seemed like people weren't the biggest fan of it, and because of that, it wasn't making as much money, and so they just dropped it after that, which is why we didn't see his season 2 of Zero G. That's my guess. But yeah, because I would have imagined if they would have had a Zero G Random Booster Volume 4, it would have definitely had like the bays like Guardian Garuda, Phantom Fenrir, Berserker Byakko, like those bays would have been released. But just yeah. Plus, Burst also got more products like random boosters and starters. Oh yeah, for sure. Japan must have picked up the slack because I don't know. Well, because I don't think Burst is as popular in America, at least in America compared to Metal Flight. I mean, it's popular. It's also just like Hasbro. I mean, like I said, the gimmicky bays, like it's cool. Seeing how they have the gimmicks and such with the stadiums and such, but just not being as strong power wise definitely hurt Hasbro, and it shows big time. People not being happy because they took out the metal, like the turbo bays, GT bays, same thing, making some of their slopes not the best, sticking with the gimmicks, which were fun, but still. But now they have their chance to make up for this big time with the Pro Series and also kill it with Speedstorm, with Surge, and putting the metal in the drivers, honestly, and just using metal in general, making the base heavier, hit hard like TT bays do. Gonna win a lot of big time fans back with that. So I'm really excited to see what they're gonna do, honestly. 2021 is gonna be honestly a really, really good year, I think, for Beyblade and also like Bakugan. Like we've seen good years thus far, but it's gonna be awesome. Um, let's see. It would be cool if Beyblade was an actual sport should be considered a sport. People are like, oh, you're just making random combos with tops and stuff. No, you have to know your knowledge on it. If you throw together any Tom, Dick, or Harry combo, it'll be like, and anybody who knows those parts really well will be like, okay. Because it takes big time strategy with it. I don't know, like, fully a sport, but, like, yeah, just, I don't mean it, granted, it is on that big time level, just this year. Hasbro's honestly trash, not gonna lie, but with the Pro Series, they have a chance. Yeah, I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion about it, honestly. Like I said, they're fun, like, the gimmicks are fun, just obviously not being strong enough that, like, as strong as, like, the TT bays or such, even slope-wise. That's what made me really sad about the gimmicks and such, but they're fun gimmicks, but, power-wise, yeah, I agree. I feel like Hasbro was a milk and burst enough, so that's probably the reason why it's not as popular as Metal Fight. Yeah, just all the big switch ups they had, because people weren't happy with there not being metal and such, and honestly, some God bays being able to whoop turbo bays and GT bays. Like, come on. Maybe this time we can actually see Vault win against Louis. Yeah, for sure. We haven't seen like the full conclusion with those two at this point. If Pokemon was real, what would be your Pokemon partner? If we're going like just full only Kanto vibes, Dragonite's my child. You'd be seeing me right around on a freaking Dragonite, dude, for sure. That would be my partner big time. If I had to make a team of 6, this is only first gen. Like future gen, we'll be here all night. So I'm sticking with the first gen, because there's obviously Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, Kalos, Alola, Galar. It's crazy. There's so many regions now. But yeah, first 150 Pokemon, not including Mew, and not including legendaries either. But I'd say, yeah, Dragonite. I'd have a Dragonite. I'd have a Charizard. I'd have a Lapras. It's so hard. It's honestly so hard. Like definitely those 3, like at least. And then the other one besides that, probably a Raichu. I probably have a Raichu. If I had a grass type, I don't know. I mean, Vileplume always seems so fun. So yeah. And I don't know. Well, Lapras would be nice type. I don't know what I'd pick for a 6th Pokemon, but yeah, at least them. Hasbro's not cooler than TT because they don't have the other gimmick, but now they have Pro Series. You can compare TT and Hasbro. Well, yeah, I mean, it's cool in the context of them actually sticking with how the gimmicks are in the show. I did personally like that about Hasbro Bays. You guys know how I am. I'm not like a full-out criticism person, because the difference between criticism and constructive criticism just being like this is bad, everything's bad, yada yada yada, but constructive being like this was good, but there's definitely things you can improve on. And that's how you get like true growth with things. But being constructive about Hasbro, obviously the Bays not being the absolute strongest, and some of them getting whooped with one hit, rare TT Bays, really sad, you know, definitely sad. But also the Pro Series coming in, being really awesome. And the fact that they did stick with the gimmicks and such throughout the seasons, that was cool. But now getting the Bays on that level where they should have been, being the big thing. But, yeah, man. You're the master of masters. Oh, I appreciate it. Broccoli, that name. That's awesome. Let's see here. Next week, we're seeing Silas and Free versus Ranjiro and Iga. The Twins versus Lane and Shu. And finally, Vault and Rantaro versus Drum and Louie. Wait, Vault and Rantaro versus Drum. I don't know if I saw that one, like, those collisions in, you know, in the preview, but it'll be wild if we do see, like, Vault and Louie face off and we get a burst from one of the two. That would be wicked. But, yeah, guys. Anyways, gonna end this off. It's been an hour and a half. I'm gonna go and chill, because, like, it's around 10 o'clock. I personally have to go and get some more rest, because I got a lot of work to do, so... Yeah, I'm going to try to do, like, some unboxings and some filming before I actually fall asleep. But, you know, plenty of videos to be coming. A lot of battles, you already know. But anyways, hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to slice that like button down below. Let me know how I did. Can you collab with JoJo? I have collabed with JoJo in the past for sure. And when things get better, definitely be more collabs. But hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to slice that like button down below. Let me know how I did. If you're new to my channel, definitely be sure to subscribe for some epic content, because I upload daily. And if you haven't already, be sure to ring that bell by my channel name so you're notified whenever I upload a video. I love this dark period because we can't predict exactly what TT is going to do. And it's going to be really, really wild to see how they're going to go about the rest of this season and also going into Season 6. I'm hyped. They definitely have a lot of other things up their sleeve. So, yeah. Anyways, till next time, guys, it's your boy Kimbo signing off. See you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Till then, stay awesome and cool. Shoot. I'm up out of here.